see if that works. Okay. Hey everybody, happy Monday. Hi to Cindy and Alyssa, Caroline. Who is that? Caroline and Caroline are both here. Happy Monday. I feel like here we are, just in these boxes with each other. So it's strange, but I hope you're all doing okay and hanging in there. Happy Mother's Day to any of you viewers, class participants that are mothers or mother figures. Happy Mother's Day a day late to you. I had a social distancing Mother's Day with my own mother yesterday. I sat in the doorway of her house and we talked to each other. It was really nice. So, but mother, the theme of mother, and the theme for today is honoring the Divine Mother. And I'll be curious moving forward to see if there are any men that take this particular class that I have posted, because many times we hear Divine Mother or Divine Feminine and you think, oh, that's a class for women only, but it's not. We all have masculine and feminine inside of us. And they both serve two very different purposes for our whole self, right? But for today, I wanted to honor the Divine Mother. And it feels really appropriate on a Monday because, as some of you know, if you've been in my classes, Monday is the day that we associate with the moon. And the moon is like Mother Moon in the sky, right? So the big mother in the sky today. Feels really appropriate to do a feminine, divine mother class. So if we think about the qualities of a mother, that can maybe conjure up some uncomfortable emotions for some people, depending on your personal experiences. But generally, we think about mothers or mother figures, and they are nurturing and they are compassionate and they take care of us. They always have the right answers. Sometimes they have the right answers. But this idea of nurturing the body can come in today. So physically, we will do some moon salutations instead of sun salutations. We'll do some standing warrior poses. I think of my own mother as such a warrior. Oh my gosh, she's a fierce warrior. And she works in the hospital. And so even more than ever, she's a real fierce warrior right now. And so we'll do some warrior poses, and then a nice easy variation of the mother of all yoga poses, as BKS Iyengar calls it, shoulder stand. So away we go with that. So refresh your posture if you need to. Get yourself comfortable. I'm sitting on a blanket to prop my hips up a little bit higher today. And do what you need to do for yourself. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Let's close our eyes. And just settle the breath. Settle the mind. Settle the body. Don't try to boss your breath around. Just let it flow in and out. And then bring your attention to this awareness of the Divine Mother living inside of each of you. Finding that place where you can cultivate a sense of nurturing and compassion for yourself. Really taking care of yourself. There are many spiritual divine mothers that come to mind for me. the Virgin Mary, of course, Mother Teresa, Siddhi Ma, Amma, Guru Mai, Ananda Mai Ma, all of these beautiful Indian saints. But also maybe there are some other divine mothers in your own life, maybe your own mother or mother figures around you. Inspirational women. I just watched a wonderful Jane Goodall documentary on National Geographic. She's sort of a divine mother in a way, hearing her talk about hope for the future. So bring your divine mother forward, whatever images, thoughts, emotions come up for you. Bring those forward. And set your intention on practicing for those images, those thoughts, those emotions today. As we connect with the universe, as we connect with ourselves and with each other, let's all sing one Om together. Breathe in. Another breath here. And then lower the hands and open the eyes and welcome back. Stay seated right where you are. Bring the bottoms of your feet together in Baddha Konasana, bound angle. So this is definitely where having a blanket might come in handy. I like to prop my hips up a little bit higher, especially if your knees come up much higher than your hips. I just realized I'm wearing dark pants and it might be not so easy to see them, see my legs on the video. So I hope you do okay today. But the blanket is helpful for propping the hips up a little bit higher than the knees. So go ahead and clasp hold either of your ankles, or sometimes I like to grab my big toes to really find some length through the arms and a little bit of resistance between the upper and lower bodies. But find a nice settling and an opening here. Baddha Konasana is a big pelvic floor and hip opener. We're really just opening the base of the body to the earth here. And of course, the pelvic region is so associated physically with the divine feminine in many ways, right? It's how women birth their babies in a natural sense. And then just take an inhale here to lengthen your spine. As you exhale, soften the torso forward, folding forward over the feet. And then roll back up to seated, sitting nice and tall. And we'll do that again. Exhale to fold forward, nice and easy. Maybe even press your elbows into your knees. And then roll back up to a seated posture. Try that one more time. Exhale to fold forward, just softening the torso forward. And then rolling back up, nice and tall. Keep the torso right where it is, nice and tall if you can. Extend the legs out for Upavishta Konasana. Nice seated, wide-legged forward fold is what we're going to be going for here. So just take a moment. You know, we're not really going for a gymnast split here. So you can be easy on your hips for sure. Keep the toes pointing upward. Keep the knees pointing upward so that we can really engage in our rotation and be really grounded here. Take an inhale to lengthen. Take an exhale. Walk your hands forward. My hands are going to leave your screen, but walk them forward for a nice forward fold here. And perhaps you can push almost try to push the floor away from you or push yourself away from your hands so that you can start to get a little bit of counter tension here. Really pressing the hips back and reaching the arms forward. Keep the arms out. Walk them over to your right leg, placing one hand on either side of the right leg. Keep the torso folding forward. Keep the head folded forward. This simple act of a forward bend, a forward fold, helps to quiet the nervous system and the mind so we can really nurture the body. Walk the hands out and over to the left. One hand on each side of the left leg. Pelvis is grounded. And fold forward. Stay with your breath. Once again, walking the hands back to the right. This time, keep your right hand on the outside of your right leg and then extend the left arm overhead. If you can easily, I can't, but if you can easily reach your fingers to your toes while maintaining a lot of space through the side body, please feel free to do that. Otherwise, just a nice long extension of the arm overhead is wonderful. Invest in really grounding down through the left sitting bone. We're going to soften the hand down to the floor. We're going to walk around second side. Same thing, placing the left hand down in front of the left leg and then extending the right arm up overhead. And same thing on this side. If you can easily reach your toes with your fingers, go for it. If you can't easily reach, don't overstretch. We're nurturing the body today. Just enjoy a nice sense of length through the right side of the body. Soft neck, deep breaths. Bring the hand down to the floor. Walk your hands back to center. One more forward stretch. One more breath. And then walk the hands back in. Use your hands to bring your legs in. And then come around to standing. So one of my favorite things to do, as some of you know, is a moon salutation instead of a sun salutation. And so a Monday night feels like the most appropriate time of the week to do these. So follow along with me. I'll move kind of slowly. Again, we're nurturing the body tonight. So take an inhale, sweep the arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Once again, this forward fold to really nurture the body. Bend your knees, soften the hips down toward the ground, and shift your right leg back into a low lunge from here. Settle into the lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands down to the floor. And from here, shift back through tabletop and then down into child's pose, Balasana. On your next inhale, come up to a seated posture. Reach the arms up above your head. Bring the hands together in prayer. And then as you exhale back into child's pose, bring your praying hands with you. Bring the arms down to the mat. Slide the torso through and forward into a baby cobra. Not too big, just enough to slightly engage the triceps. Tuck the toes from here. Come back up to tabletop. Step your left leg forward. Anjaneyasana. Reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, step forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up above the head, hands to prayer. Exhale your hands to your heart. So that's the general flow. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale here. Exhale, soften the knees. Start descending into a squat. Step your right leg back into a lunge. Readjust the feet and the knees if you need to. Inhale up, Anjaneyasana. Really extend up through the fingertips. Open your heart. Let your heart center radiate up toward the sky, up toward Mother Moon in the sky. Exhale, hands down and shift back into Balasana. Inhale, come up to a seated position. Reach the arms up above your head, hands to prayer. Exhale, praying child's pose. Bring the hands down to the floor. Slide the torso forward through and up into a baby cobra. Just coming up enough to engage the triceps and the back gently. And then from here, push back into tabletop. Step your left leg forward. Adjust. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands down. Stepping forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. I think I realized we may have done the right leg twice there. So we better do the left leg twice just in case. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Standing forward bend. Inhale here. Exhale, come into a squat. Step your left leg back. Oh yeah, that feels good. Step the left leg back into Anjaneyasana. Reach up, look up. Exhale, hands down. Shift back into child's pose, or a version of child's pose. My knees are pretty directly underneath my torso. Inhale, come up to a seated posture. Reach the arms up above your head, hands in prayer. Exhale, praying child's pose. Bring the arms down to the mat, sliding your torso forward just like a snake and all the way up into baby cobra. Exhale, push back into tabletop. Step your right leg forward, up into Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step forward, forward bend. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Last round, one more time. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale here. Exhale, squat. Shifting your left leg back into a low lunge. Reach the arms up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands to the floor. Shift back, child's pose. Inhale, come up to a seated posture, arms up above your head. Exhale, praying child's pose. Hands to the mat. Inhale, sneak forward like a snake. Come all the way up into baby cobra. Exhale, push back through tabletop. Step your right leg forward. Anjaneyasana. Last time, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step forward, standing forward bend. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up above the head. Hands to prayer. Exhale, hands to your heart. Pause here. And breathe deep. Feel the effects of those moon salutations on the body. And then when you're ready, you can open the eyes and lower the hands. So I'd like to do standing half lotus today, but if that's not possible for you, please feel free to stick with tree pose. That's just as wonderful. But I picked half lotus because the lotus flower, of course, feels like such a beautiful symbol of femininity. But also Mahalakshmi, one of the goddesses in the Hindu Indian tradition, the goddess of abundance and prosperity. She sits inside of a lotus flower. And so here we go with half lotus, bringing one leg up, placing the top of the leg on top of your thigh, bringing it as close to the top of the leg as possible. Pressing your hands in toward the center of your chest, in toward each other. And breathe deep. Woo, steady your balance. And again, if tree pose is more accessible for you, go with tree today. Steady your breath. And then exhale, really carefully protect the ankle and the foot. Let that leg down and shake the legs out. Second side, shifting again. If tree is easier for you, go ahead with tree pose, that's fine. Otherwise, bringing the top of your foot all the way up to the top of your thigh. Really snuggling it in there. I'm actively thinking about pushing my heel forward so that I can protect the ankle joint and avoid sickling the foot. And I'm thinking about my toes reaching back. So toes are going backwards, heel is coming forwards. Woo! Steady your balance. Become Mahalakshmi here, the symbol of abundance and prosperity. Or maybe take this moment to think about all of the abundance you have in your own life, even if it might not seem like it right now. Do you have lots of baked goods in your kitchen or lots of good movies in your Netflix list to watch? Do you have an abundance of plants popping up in your yard or your neighborhood? Abundance is all around us in many ways. It can be more than just money, huh? Woo, okay, let that go. Ugh. Shake the legs out. And then step your feet nice and wide apart, some warrior poses today. Reaching the arms out. Outwardly rotate the right, inwardly rotate the left leg slightly, bend the knee, the front knee into warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Turn your focus over your right fingertips. So when I think about my own mother, when I think about these mother figures that are really impactful in the world, there's a sense of a warrior nature in them. And so I think about Durga and Kali, more of these goddesses in the Indian tradition that are warrior goddesses. But they also have this divine motherly sense about them. Flip your right palm up and back, reach up into peaceful warrior. The bottom hand can reach down to your bottom leg. Stay with your breath. So fierce but peaceful, right? And then from here, we're going to exhale and fold forward, clasping your hands together behind your back. Humble warrior. And how does the Divine Mother manifest inside of you in a humble way? Unlock your hands, bring them down to the floor, and let's walk ourselves around to the other side. We'll do the second side in the reverse direction. So inwardly rotate the right leg, outwardly rotate the left leg. Clasp your hands together behind your back. And we'll start with humble warrior here. I'm looking into that screen. I can't believe how dark it is in here. It's so dark outside my apartment windows. So I hope you all can see okay. From humble warrior, really ground down, engage the core, and reach all the way up and back into peaceful warrior from here. Bottom hand goes to the back leg. Check in to make sure that the knee is tracking over the toes on the left leg. Stay with your breath. And again, now think about how that Divine Mother manifests herself in a peaceful way within you. And then bring the arms up, bring the torso up. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Steadfast warrior focus over those left fingertips. Warrior 2 is my favorite of all the warrior poses. It's so grounding and strengthening. Yet it's so open at the same time. The torso's open, the heart center's open. Inhale, come back to center, straighten your legs, bring your hands to your hips, and then heel toe your feet in. Whew. Hip pops to center just for a moment here. Shake the legs out if you need to. And let the effects of those standing poses settle. Step the feet wide apart again when you're ready. Not quite as wide as they were for the standing poses. And then outwardly rotate the legs so that the toes are facing toward the front corners of your mat. And then bend your knees from here into a nice big squat. Bring the arms up and out. Let the elbows softly come forward so that we don't close off and round the shoulders here. Utthata Konasana, goddess squat here. Goddess victory squat, I believe. So this is a big quad burner. So try to draw your attention and your energy up into your abdominals. Really engage the core. Think about widening the pelvic floor, letting the feet really spread and melt like butter down into the earth. Heart center is open. Stay with your breath. And then take an inhale to rise. Let the arms fall. Once again, heel to the legs in. And feel the effects of that. Take a moment here for a gentle quad stretch. Bend your, clasp a hold of your left knee. And just stretch the front of the leg. I'm going to face the side. Bring your right arm up above your head here. And while we're here, let's try for Natarajasana, but a variation of it, maybe just baby dancer. So see if you can shift your torso and your arm forward while holding on to that back foot, steadying your balance. And then inhale back to center and let the leg go. Second side. Clasping your right foot to get a nice stretch through the quad. Extend your left arm up. And then see if you can reach forward. Keep pressing the foot back and away from you to really balance through the legs. Keep lengthening through the spine, reaching the fingertips forward. And then exhale, let that go. Good, come down to the floor. Let's see. Let's actually come to tabletop as we set up for pigeon prep here today. So stepping your right leg forward and in front of your left knee so that you can let the leg come down. Readjust yourself if you need to. And if you have I'm going to face the other direction, everybody, to show you on this side. If you have a blanket or a block nearby and you'd like to put that underneath your the right side of your pelvis, it's a really nice way to keep the pelvis balanced here. And it provides a little extra support. There's that mother coming back in, that support there, right? So then go ahead and walk your arms forward any amount. And this is yogi's choice. If you want to extend the arms all the way out, go for it. If you prefer to keep the elbows, the arms slightly bent at the elbow, that's fine too. But wherever you land, I encourage you to find a gentle rocking motion in the body, in the torso. As we open the hips, the pelvis is that right above the hips, really. It's our watery sacral center, our watery womb for us women. So the gentle lateral shift might help you tap into that sense of watery flow. And then come back really carefully, stepping your right leg back through tabletop. I'll face the other direction now so you can see the prop. Stepping your left leg forward and in front of the right knee. That's really important there. That'll help you set up to drop the knee out to the left. And then snuggle in as you need to. Bring the heel in as close to the groin as you need to for comfort. Use the blanket if that's supportive. And then as you exhale and fold forward, set your arms up in any positioning that feels best for you. And then once again, I encourage you to just gently shift, gently rock right and left. It can be really subtle. Gently rocking like a mother gently rocking her baby. You might find that with every exhale, you're able to descend a little bit closer to the floor. Really listen to the body. See what it's saying to you. And then on your next breath, really carefully bring the arms in, shift back through tabletop. Stretch the legs back a little bit if you need to. Pop the hips if you need to. And come all the way down to the floor as we settle in for our last big pose of the day. Shoulder stand, but a really just a modified, simple, more like candlestick pose today. But shoulder stand is considered, BKS Iyengar says, shoulder stand is considered the mother of all yoga poses. And that is because of its ability on the energetic level to nurture the body from the inside and nurture all of the organs and organ systems in our bodies. So it's a really wonderfully nurturing and recuperative post practice. So if you have a regular practice of shoulder stand and you want to use all the blankets and props, you can go for it. I'm going to do a propless version for all of you today. And we're really just going to pop our hips right up into it. So using the elbows for support is really helpful here as you roll the hips up, and use your hands to support your hips. And then when you're ready, you can lengthen the legs up toward the ceiling here. So of course, in an ideal world, we have the hips a little bit more vertical over the shoulders, but we're just going for the everyman's practice today, the every woman's practice today. Just a really simple short version of it. So reaching the toes up toward the ceiling, really connecting the arms, the scapula to the back. And the hands are supporting the pelvis. So with this gentle, it's a big inversion. It's more than a gentle inversion. But you can feel the blood flowing in the opposite direction. The breath deepens and slows down. Taking care. And then really easefully, carefully here, bring the knees in toward your chest. And then the hands can come down to the floor. Roll yourself down onto your mat. And lengthen the legs out, nice and long on your mat. So as we settle in for Shavasana, get yourself comfortable if you need to. Grab any blankets or socks or sweaters that you might want to put on. And as we deepen our breath and lull ourselves into Shavasana, I invite you to repeat a mantra, and that word is Ma, M-A, Ma, in honor of the Divine Mother that lives inside of us. Ma. Begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch your arms and your legs. Yawn if you need to, and when you're ready, you could roll yourself onto your side and then back up to a seated posture. Take your time. Take your time. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. And take a moment to thank yourself for your efforts. As always, I remind myself and remind my students that it takes a lot of motivation and discipline and courage to come to your mat, to come to your practice, especially a full practice. It takes a lot of courage and time and energy to do that. And it's especially hard when we're at home and there's other distractions around. So thank yourself for your efforts. May this practice tonight be a reminder to us of the Divine Mother that lives inside each of us, that we all have the capabilities for self-nurturing and taking care and compassion for ourselves. Nurturing and nourishing ourselves, I guess is what I should say. So let's close with a big sigh all together. Inhale with me. To the light in each one of you, I bow, yogis. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here with me as always. I so look forward to our next practice together. Keep taking care of yourselves. Stay positive. I heard good news from our governor in New York today that New York is slowly going to start reopening. So it's wonderful news. Keep hanging in there. And I'll see you all again soon. Bye, everybody.